Welcome to Blender. In this video, we are going to unwrap this guy and add some materials and possibly texture it. We'll see at the end of the video here. So I went ahead behind the scenes and I made a little porch here. It's pretty simple. You guys could probably handle that, I hope, by now. So to get started, I'm going to hide a bunch of this stuff. So I want to unwrap my base first. Actually, before I do that, let's go ahead and material preview. And we're going to add some materials to this thing because it just doesn't have any. I'm going to hide this plane. And I'm going to select the bottom here of the house, and I'm going to give it a new material. And I'm going to add one with a little plus sign here. And we can give these like base colors too. So I'm going to click new here. So I'm going to give it like a light brown. And that's going to be for the inside. And then the outside, I'm going to hit tab and select my second material. Go to face select mode. Hold alt and select this corner so that it goes all the way around. And then I'm just going to give this another color, like a darker brown. And then just assign it. So now if you see inside, it's light brown and outside it's dark brown. So this floor has two materials. For the main house, we're going to give it two also. So click new and then do new again. So I'm going to make the inside of the house this color so I don't have to get in there and mess with it. So we'll make the inside, oh, I don't know, we'll make it a green color. So that colored the whole house here because it's all one piece, but that's okay. I'm going to separate this top stuff again anyway. So for the outside, I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to alt click. No, actually, I'm just going to have to select all the faces. So I want all of those assigned to material 3. So I'm going to click assign and we'll give those a, let's say a reddish color. So the outside has a material, the inside and the inside of the roof has material, but we're going to fix that. So I'm going to select all my roof parts. Actually, before I do that, I need to hide these because they're not part of it. We'll hide those. And we're just going to select all our roof parts. And we can go ahead and give those another material now that we have them selected. So I'm going to hit plus and new, and we're going to give it just a darker color. And click assign. So that's the top of our roof. Then we need to get inside here, so I'm just going to hide the floor so I can look underneath. Go back into edit mode on the house. So I'm just going to select all the inside of the house parts. It's hard to see with the grid in my way. Because I'm going to have all of those the same color. Actually, they are all already the same color. Is it that green? I guess that is that green. Okay, that's fine. So the materials are on there kind of how I want them, but I think I'm going to add another one just for the walls. That way we can have this ceiling one color and the walls another color. That looks good. Hit the plus sign, give it a new, and the walls will make back to the yellow color, or greenish color. And then when we click assign, it changes all those. So those have materials. Now I want all the windows to have a material, and I want them joined together. And the door frame. So we'll join all those together and just give them a new material. We'll make them like another brownish color, grayish color, tannish color, whatever that is. So those have a material now. And I think I maybe Let's unhide those parts. We'll hide this again. And grab our, oh, we don't want that at all. Let's delete that. We don't need those anymore. I think that's everything. So let's grab these, and we'll join those together and give them a material. Actually, I want to grab these two. So we'll join them also. And we'll change them to darker red color. And then this needs to be the roof color. So roof is gray, so we'll take that, hit the little drop down and pick gray. And I think the door we can make, yeah, let's just make the, we'll just give the door a zone. So purple. These guys I want to be, whoops, the red color. And this guy can be the same color as the porch, or the bottom there. So now we have materials on our whole house. Okay, so now that we got all our materials assigned, I'm going to go ahead and start unwrapping this bad boy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to select the bottom here and hit Control I, and I'm just going to hide everything else because I just want to unwrap this piece. And I'm going to go back into, it's fine. Yeah, we'll do it like this because it'll be easier to see. So I went back into solid mode, hit Tab, and I'm going to edge select, and I don't have a bottom, so I only need to unwrap the corners. So I'm just going to grab all 4 corners and right click, mark seams, and then I can hit A, U, unwrap. You know what, before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and my scale's not right. So if you unwrap with the scale not right, sometimes it just don't do a nice job. So I'm going to hit Q and apply all my transforms, and then I'm going to unwrap it again. U, unwrap, and go to UV editing, and I got a nice unwrap there. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm just going to move it over here off the UV. Now I'm going to go back to layout and hit Alt H, unhide everything, hide the floor again. Don't need that either. And we're going to grab this part and hit Control I to invert and hide it again. Ooh. Oh, I didn't select. Yeah. Select the house. I selected a baseboard or something. Control I, H, and now I have just the house. Go into edit mode, and I'm actually going to face select, and I'm going to select all the front faces, and I'm going to hit P by selection. Then I'm going to hit Tab, and then select the house again, hit Tab, and then select this wall, and hit P by selection. And I'm just separating these because I want to do a projection from view and unwrap them by view, and you'll see why in a second. So select the house again, select those 2 faces, hit P by selection, and select the house again, select those 2, P by selection, and now I'm just going to select the roof and hide it, and that just leaves me with my outside walls. So I can hit 1 on the number pad and select the front, hit Tab, hit A. Whoop, I forgot. I'm going to grab all of them and apply transforms. So now my scale should be 1 on all of them. Hit 1 and 1. Yep. Okay, good. So now I'm going to hit 1. Hit Tab with the front selected. So the only thing selected is the front. And I'm going to do U, project from view. And that is going to give me a nice, perfect front of my house unwrap. So we are going to grab that and move him up here because I know I got the floor like right here. So I'm going to hit this here. And then we can hit 1, hit 9, Tab in object mode, select the backside, Tab, select both faces, U, project from view. And that gives me a pretty backside of the house. And I'll put it like right there. Then we'll hit 3. Select that one. Hit A, view, project from view. Select him. Put him up here. And then hit 9. Select this one. Hit A, view, project from view. Grab him and put him up here. Now if I go back to object mode, hit A and hit tab and hit A again. Oh, I don't have my floor. Do I want my floor on there? I think we'll leave the floor its own UV. So these guys, I can just, since I got them all selected, I can hit U, average out and scale, and then U, or UV, and pack islands. That'll put them all in there, and I actually don't like that, so I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to arrange them myself, so we'll put him here. Put the backside beside him. Select the one vertex there and hit L. Move him down here. And this guy, put him like right there. And I actually want to arrange these. I want to keep them straight, but I want to arrange them so that I use as much texture space as possible. So I'm just gonna, let's see. It's hard to get a lot of texture space out of this. I don't want to do it. I don't know that I can. It's just kind of lining up pretty good, so I might just be stuck like this. Oops. I think that's as much texture space as I'm going to get out of them. And we'll see what the textures look like on them. If they look like crap, we'll just make each one its own thing. So those are done. So we can Alt-H all those. And then I'm going to select all 4 sides. If I stop hitting caps locks instead of Shift. And then hide those. We'll hide these. Hide the bottom. Hide all this front stuff. And our windows. And our door. And our baseboards. And we're going to separate this stuff out now. So I'm going to separate all the inside walls. Now I could unwrap this in one big long piece, but it's better to get the parts by themselves. That way you can just do the projection from view and unwrap them and align them how you want to align them. So I got all those now. So we'll hit 1, select the front, tab, A, oops, let's select everything. And Q, all transform, so our scale is 1. Now we can go to front view, U, project from view. And 9, tab, select the back, tab, A, U, project from view. And I know I'm not going into UV editing, but we can do that after we do it all. So tab in edit mode, hit A, U, project from view. 9, tab, U, tab, A, U, project from view. So now we have all of them unwrapped. I'm just going to select all 4 of them. And go into UV editing. And they're all right there. Now if I select the two parts, I can just hit A and move them. You. Oh, I can't. Good. So I just selected the whole house, and now I'm just grabbing parts. So we will put you under here. Grab all that. Move it on there. Grab you. Put you above here. Kind of line them up, and then scale them up to as big as you can get them without overlapping. You can probably move these two over a little bit and get some more texture space out of them. And that ought to do. So now our inside and outsides are unwrapped. I'm going to grab the roof. And we're going to mark seams on this roof. Right click, mark seams. So I don't have to mark the do I got the inside separated? I do. Yeah, because there's a big gap there. Or are you? I don't think it is, but it's fine because I'm just going to do an L selection on here. Make sure the inside didn't get selected, and it didn't. Hit U and unwrap. And that gives me the roof. But I want these two to go the same direction, so I'm going to select this one and rotate it 90 degrees. And I think I'm going to select this one and rotate it 90 degrees also. Hang on a tick. It was fine the way it was. But I am going to move it over here. And I'll move this one over just a hair too. And then I'm going to scale the whole thing down just a hair because I don't like it sitting on the border. So that's good for the outside of the roof. Now we need to do the inside of the roof. So I'll hit this one and hit L, and that selects the whole inside. But before I do that, I need to mark the seams on the inside. Oops, right click, mark seams. L, U, unwrap. This is definitely not right. Alright, who's causing issues here? This thing should unwrap straight. I was checking to see if I had multiple vertices. Why did you not unwrap straight? I've got something going on here. So I'm going to turn my sync off. And I'm going to select this vertex, hit period on number pad over here, and see where the problem is. So there's something going on up here. Looks like they're inside out. So I'm going to select the top here and hit L and just hide it while I'm fighting with this mess that's in here. You know what? Let's just separate it so it's easier. So L on the top. That's not the top. L on the top, P by selection. And then I can select that and hide it. And then we're going to select this one with L also and separate by selection. And now I can hide all of this bottom stuff. And that just leaves us with the top here. Now I can actually look at it and see what's going on. So there's some problems here. And we actually don't need that. So I'm going to go into X-ray mode, make sure I select it all, and hit M at center. And do the same thing with the other side. I'm just cleaning up some geometry here that's screwy. M at center. So now those come to a perfect peak inside our house. And if we unwrap it, it should unwrap better. That's better. I want these lines going the same way, so I think I'll rotate this guy. Oh, turn sync back off. Hit A over here. Grab this, hit L, rotate 90. Stick it like right there. And we'll just grab it all, move it, and scale it up. And that looks good. Okay, so we got our roof unwrapped now. Let's go back to layout and back into solid mode, unhide everything. So we have our roof outside. Then we have our roof inside as separate pieces. I'm going to go ahead and name these while I'm at it because I got a butt ton of parts now. Let's see, so roof inside, right? Is that the inside? Yeah. Or no, that's the outside. That's the inside. So roof outside. Ceiling. Mind my spelling. I can't spell. Don't care. We'll do, make sure that's outside. It is. So front outside. Left outside. Really don't need to rename these, I don't think, but I'm doing it anyhow just for you guys. Right outside. And back. So now I'm going to hide those individually. And then I can select them again. So this is front inside. Left inside. Right inside. And back inside. So let's hide that. Hide the back inside. Hide the left inside. The right inside. And the roof outside. So now we just gotta, and we can hide this guy. And we'll name it floor. And hide it. Now we got our little parts to unwrap, which is a little more complicated. So this guy, I'm probably going to unwrap him too and get him connected to the roof. So first thing I'm going to do is go into face select or edit mode in this thing and select these faces because we don't need them. So we're going to delete those faces. And we don't need the inside faces either, so I'm just going to hide all that. And delete these faces also. Then we can just mark one seam. Mark seams. So that's done. For the door frame, actually for all these pieces, I'm going to try a smart UV project and see how it comes out. UV, smart UV project, change this island margin to 0.010 and unwrap it. That's not looking too bad. Later on, if I need to, do I like it? I think it's going to be fine. If I need to, I can specifically unwrap that stuff a little better, but for now, I think that will do. So those are unwrapped, so we can hide those. What's that? actually, we don't need none of these. So, I'm going to hide our door real quick. So, all these pieces, we do not need any of them. So, I'm just going to delete them. Because they're the inside of all of our windows and doors and stuff. And you can't see them anyhow because the frame's in the way. So, that got rid of a bunch of geometry. This guy, I'm going to also Smart UV project him with 010. Click OK. UV editing. That looks okay, I guess. Should be fine. These guys, same thing. Check it out. Yep, that's perfectly fine. This guy, did we unwrap him? Yeah, it's good enough. And then we just got this guy to do. So I'm just going to mark seams on him. So we don't need some of these faces. Hide this thing again. So we don't need the back faces. So I'm going to select those faces. We don't need the bottom faces. Get rid of those. Delete all of them. And now we just have this part. So if I mark a seam here, here, and here, this whole thing will fold out sideways. And same with this side. So now it'll open up like a box. So we're going to right click mark seams. And so these three faces will fold up and out, and these ones will do the same thing. Be like an airplane shape. So U unwrap. Man, I didn't apply scale, but you don't necessarily have to. But see how it opens up like wings on an airplane. And I believe we have everything unwrapped. We just have to, make sure our parts are aligned on UVs the way we want them. So we've got our seams marked on everything. Now we have to make sure our maps are how we want them to before we go trying to bake stuff. So I'm gonna Alt H, unhide everything, hide this stupid plane again, and that guy, and make sure we have what we want where we want it. So these things, I can actually join all these to get back together now because they're already unwrapped. So I'm going to Control J those. And now if I hit Tab on it and go back to UV editing, they're already still aligned. I just separated them so I could project them, and I probably didn't need to, but I like doing that. That way I make sure I don't get other crap with it. But if you just select the parts and unwrap them, it should be fine. So that's that. I'm going to hide it because I know I want that stuff by itself. The inside walls I'm going to do the same thing with. And we will join those together and hit Tab, and they're all nice the way we wanted them, so we're going to hide those too. The roof and this guy I want in the same piece, so I'm going to join those together. I'm going to select the roof last. Something changed up there, so what happened is I built this earlier, and I don't have shade smooth with the normal auto smooth turned on. So if I select this one and select this one, if you watch, when I join them together, it janks the roof up. But because it takes the roof and it assigns this guy's data to it. But if I select this one first and then the roof, it'll take this roof's and give it this roof's data. So Control J, and then my roof doesn't break. So this guy, I want to move him out of there. And then hit A. And I'm going to do an average out on scale. Let me make sure I got everything's 1, so average out on scale will work. UV average out on scale. That's better. And then we'll just arrange this stuff a little better. And then scale it down to fit inside the UV space. And now we have the roof parts and stuff the way we want them. do, however, want to assign a different material to the inside of this guy. So what do I want to do with it? I want to give these guys the red material. Let's go to material preview. So I want those to have the red material, and I want these three to have the inside material, which is this one. So that will be nicer. And then the top has the roof material, so that's good. Let me go back to UV editing. And I am going to go here, and I'm going to do some selections by material. So I'm going to select this material, which is the top roof, and click select. That's interesting. So this square should have 3 parts, but it don't. Well, that's interesting. So we're gonna select all these, and these, and these. We're just gonna unwrap those again. And I'm gonna separate them by selection again, because I don't want these outside pieces with it. So now we just have that stuff. Grab that over. Do another average on scale. Okay, everything's still the same. Grab this guy, move him over. Scale the whole thing down just a teeny tiny bit. And I'm happy with that one. So this is going to be our roof. So I'm going to rename it. Oh, it's already good. That's good. So that's all our roof outsides. Now I want to get this again. I'm selecting my red parts. So actually I could just select nothing and then select. Let me go here, because I want all my red parts to be one part. So let me grab this. We're going to select it, grab both our red parts, and we're just going to separate those by selection, and then grab our wood, our frames, and our little guys. We're just going to join all those together. That's interesting. That's more what I want. I'm just sliding my slider here because I want straight pieces that all run the same direction, more or less. With some little goofy guys there, but this should make a better outcome with our, if we put wood grain on there. So we will leave that one alone. Okay, I got those parts done, so I'm just going to hide those. Now I want to make sure, so this roof, yep, I can hide him. And this roof, I want this guy attached to him. So we'll select those and join them together. And tab, A, U, unwrap. Rotate these two these. Move them closer. Center them up and scale them up. That's good. So the roofs are done. The floor is fine because we're doing one UV for it. So I'm just going to unwrap it again just to stick it back in the center and not have to deal with it. And I'm going to scale it down here and try to center it up a little bit. There we go. This and these, I want all the same color. So I'm just going to select the bottom one and select this one, and that should assign, yep, the same color to it. Then I'm going to do another Smart UV Project on it. And I'm going to play with the slider until I like it. Actually, probably go down a little bit. Let's not. Let's do that again. Smart View Project. Click OK. UV Pack Islands, maybe. We're going to leave that alone, and we'll see what it looks like whenever we put materials on it. So that one's done, so we can hide it. The floor's done, we can hide it. This guy, I actually want part of the floor, so let's unhide the floor again. Click this one. Oh, let's go the other way. And join them together. And then we're going to unwrap them again, so that we got our little part and our big part. I'm going to scale them down a hair and just move this guy so it's not so close. Get more texture space out of it if I can. That looks pretty good. And then the door, let's just regular unwrap the door. We'll hide this door. Actually, don't even need the top of the door, but I'll leave it alone. So since there's no bottom of the door, I'm gonna mark this, 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 and this. Right click, mark seams. Or do I want it to go sideways? Let's do it like that. So I marked this one, and that little one. Mark seams, and now this piece will unfold out with this piece, and it'll be one big long two double door looking thing. So let's apply transform for tab A, U, unwrap, the editing, and it comes out as a big long door. It's a little crooked, so I'm going to straighten this guy manually. And this is what I spend most of my time doing outside the scenes here. So SX0, we'll straighten that. Go into vertex select mode. Why are you selecting those? Alright, I'm going to turn sync off and hit A and then do it. It's fighting with me. There we go. SX0. Shift R to repeat. And then SY0. Shift R to repeat. Shift R to repeat. Now you can use UV squares for this kind of stuff, but I do it manually most of the time. SY0. And now everything's straight. So I'll scale it down to here. Whoops. Rotate it 90 degrees. That's better. So now if we put an image on there, it'll be up and down because I know this is the top because it's got that little extra lip up there. So the door's unwrapped. Okay, let me unhide all this. Alt H. And we'll hide the floor again, hide this again. And I just want to go through and check my UVs and make sure everything's got what I wanted on there. So this guy is the floor and the stairs, and that is good. So I'll just hide it. The pillars should be the red slats and all the top roofs, and we'll hit tab, double check the UV, make sure it looks okay, and it does. When we go to put the actual textures on this, we'll double check everything and make sure the textures are lining up the way they are, and if they're not, we might unwrap it again. If they are, we'll leave it alone. Some stuff we might have to rotate a little bit to make it go the direction we want, but for now, that's unwrapped and I like it. So we'll hit H on that to hide it. We got our roof top parts, tab, they are good. Mind you, every one of these UVs are going to be a different texture, so we're going to have a few textures on here, but I'm doing that because I want maximum texture space so that our resolution of our texture looks good. If I wanted to, I could put all this on one texture, but it's just not going to look as good. And when we bake, we may do that, but that's a different animal, and we'll figure it out as we go. So top roof is good, so I'll hide it. Outside, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's what I want. Looks good. We'll hide it. Inside, got 4 pieces. They're all lined up properly, so I like it, so we'll hide it. Top roof, all the pieces are there and arranged the way I want them, so we can hide it. One more check of that. Looks good. Hide it. And the door is also good, so we'll just unhide everything again. That's the house unwrapped and materials assigned. In the next video, we'll be doing some texturing. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. If you'd like to support me and get some access to exclusive content, my Patreon is in the link below. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.